A few days ago, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, was given the highest award in Ethiopia by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed. He was given this award in the palace of Emperor Haile Selassie I. This is now the Grand Palace, which we know as Jubilee Palace, which was built in 1955. You're definitely in the zone, the Tiger's Nest. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. And we're very thankful for your presence at this moment. And even before we get deeper into that conversation, let me encourage everyone. Make sure that you pick up a copy of your ambassador's pen. And you may say, how do I pick up this copy? Well, for those who are watching the video, all you have to do is go into the description below the video and the link is there. This is the most recent edition of the Ambassador's Pen. We're talking about the revolutionary edition, highlighting, of course, the progress of Captain Ibrahim Traore, and of course, highlighting the progress taking place in Namibia. We also have a wonderful article highlighting Thomas Sankara the Great and many other jewels inside of the ambassador's pen. Now, remember, this is just one of the 3 editions of the ambassador's pen. So, all the links are in the description below. Make sure you avail yourself. Wonderful information, keeping you in tune with geopolitics, culture, and history, specifically from an Afrocentric point of view. And remember, if you want the PDF, you would have to email us and subscribe. Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. And before we go deeper, let me just highlight to those who know of our mission to Ethiopia. Well, the overview of that mission is actually inside of the magazine, The Ambassador's Pen, the revolutionary edition. Yet still, you can still email us to get a full copy of the proposal to Ethiopia, and we will be speaking of that mission before we seal this program here today. Now, why this is important, royal family, because as I said a few days ago, the founder of Microsoft, Mr. Bill Gates, was given not only an award, but it seems as if, according to the news, he was given the highest award in Ethiopia. And he received a beautiful gold chain with some little Ethiopias on the chain. And there was this pendant, this plaque as such, with the green, yellow, and red Ethiopia, the flag of the Republic of Ethiopia, a very beautiful gift he received. And then he also received an Ethiopian style portrait of himself on what appeared to be lamb skin. Very beautifully done as well, looks exactly like him. And again, this was presented to him by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And then now, what is interesting, Mr. Bill Gates went on to say that he's going to give about 99% of his $200 billion fortune to Africa. And he's going to complete this process at least in the next, well, at least he gives himself until 2045, according to what the news said. Now, you must keep in mind that the Gates Foundation has been doing a lot of things in Africa for a long time. In fact, we did a whole program when Bill Gates giving a lecture clearly said, I think everyone knows this, clearly said that the population of the world is too big. And one of the ways to keep it down is to use vaccines. Now, again, I may be even paraphrasing that, The thing is, even to find that information is a bit hard now, but I'm sure most of the people watching this knows about that or at least would have heard about it. Well, this ain't no conspiracy theory here. It is just the truth. And what is interesting, he was speaking of bringing in some oversized chicken into Ethiopia. He said that. He was speaking of bringing in some oversized chicken that can lay more eggs. So where are we now? Back to GMO, which is one of the biggest concerns when it comes to the works that Bill Gates would have been bringing to Africa. GMO food that cause cancer and other diseases. Because you must keep in mind, if you are following the news, Mr. Bill Gates says my voice is going to be very loud. He seems to be quite upset with Donald Trump because Donald Trump is, taking away funding from the vaccines that are going into Africa. And he, Mr. Gates, he's not with that. That's why he's throwing in all of his money into Africa so he can get more vaccines in. He said from the time that Donald Trump would have cut back on the vaccines, the rate of AIDS and herpes and smallpox and other diseases would have started to skyrocket. This is from Bill Gates' report. So he doesn't see that as a good thing at all. But you must keep in mind, family, I want you to hear me good. Even if it is a junkie on crack, you have to keep this in mind. There's something they call cold turkey. And although, without a doubt, we don't need no drugs, we don't need none of the killer vaccines, we don't need none of these things that shorten your life and give you all of these side effects. But the reality is, I want you to catch this point, that they have hooked the people on these drugs, and I'm purposely using that term with the term hook. They have hooked the people on these drugs for so long that when you pull them away from the drugs, just again, cold turkey, some people may die. Yes. Some people may, because, they need it like a fix, may lose their senses. But what is the greater gain at the end of it? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the president of the African Bank was saying to Bill Gates, well, I don't think it was to him directly, but he was saying what we need is not aid, we need development, we need funding in education. Bill Gates said that he's totally dismissing that. Anyone that even questions aid, yeah, he's totally dismissing that. Understand? So this is very important, oversized chickens coming from someone who is considered to be a wizard when it comes to GMO foods. And then at the same time, I know for sure that I saw and heard him say, maybe I wasn't there live, but I know, come on, you know the difference between something that is photoshopped and cut up and AI and all of that, although the thing is getting real deep in this modern day time. But for sure, you know when you see something that's authentic, and I will repeat, many of you saw that video, and I'm sure many of you were not there live in the conference room when he said that the population is going too high. And one of the ways we can make sure we keep this, down is to use vaccines. And he didn't say, oops. It's not as if he tried to change his tongue. He really meant what he said. So, again, that's quite interesting, that this individual who is definitely seen as a notorious individual by many ones, he's being given the highest award, not an award, the highest award in the highest region. And not only is he given the highest award in the highest region, but in the highest house. This is not the governor's mansion. This is not even the president's palace. This is not the embassy. This is the Jubilee Palace of Emperor Haile Selassie I, newly renovated, I may add, and we are very appreciative of that. We are not too appreciative of seeing Mr. Gates getting no higher award on our father's turf for all that he would have done, which is very, very questionable, according to some official stats and even according to what I hear come out of his own mouth. So again, royal family, keep in mind that we have that mission to Ethiopia, and I want everyone to email me to make sure you get a copy of the full proposal. I want you to go through the proposal properly. And again, in the magazine, I'm talking about the Ambassador's Pen magazine, you also get the overview of the proposal. And remember, we have specific offers, specific sponsorship offers as well for those who would like to sponsor and literally assist in this very important, and I would add, timely mission. And remember, the sponsorships are not necessarily donations. We are talking about giving you value for whatever the finance is, because we are going on an international mission. This is a mission as it relates to government, as it relates to trade and commerce, as it relates to business, as it relates to culture, obviously, as it relates to the exchange of education, a fact-finding mission as it relates to tour. Remember, those of you who want to be with us, you could also literally book your tours, as we have the Addis Ababa tour and we have the full Ethiopian tour. All of this information is in the proposal. All you have to do is contact us, email me, priestisaacInstitute@gmail.com, and we will send you that information. Let me remind you once again, if you go into the magazine, The Ambassador's Pen, that is the recent edition, the revolutionary edition of the Ambassador's Pen. It's right below this video in the description. The link is right there. And in this edition of the Ambassador's Pen, let's just say you do not contact us for the proposal. At least in this edition, you get a good overview of what the mission is all about, and you also get the different levels of sponsorship that you could definitely partake of. And remember, this will benefit you on this diplomatic yet still business mission as well. Also, what I would really like to highlight, royal family, that you could make a free will donation or contribution to this mission. For those of you who understand the work, this is why I would love you to get the proposal. We did a whole video entitled, listen to me good, we did a whole video entitled, "We Are on Our Way to Ethiopia. We are going to Ethiopia," right on this YouTube channel. For those of you who would have missed that program, I would like you to observe that video. In fact, I'm going to put the link for that specific video in the description below. It was about an hour in length, a bit longer than what this will be. And that was a full edition of the Tiger's Nest as well. And I went into detail, giving you a clear idea of why this mission, obviously, to Ethiopia is very important. That's why it's not a trip. Nobody's going to trip and fall at all. This is a mission for the betterment of our people, for the betterment of our society as well. In fact, before you try to run away, do you know I was supposed to play you the speech, at least some of the speech that the Ethiopian Prime Minister gave when he awarded Mr. Bill Gates. And before we leave, I think I'm going to still give you a snippet of that as well. It just kind of dawned on me. I was so anxious to share this with you. So remember, family, we have the Cash App, we have the PayPal, we have the Zelle, Western Union, whatever have you. So if you just want to make a donation, say you want to donate $50, $100, $500, $10,000. Remember, this is a budget of $118,000. You understand? Within the proposal, you actually see the makeup of our team, accommodations, transportation, security, everything is there, nutrition, everything is there, and the different tours, and of course the lectures that we will be giving, the radio interviews, and the radio time and television time that we will be purchasing. So family, it is a heavy package. This is the time for us to be serious. I know everyone is talking now and jumping for joy, and again, as you can see on the cover of our most recent magazine is the captain himself. So what I'm saying, family, this ain't no talking time and jumping for joy time and acting as if we're more angry than everybody in the world time. This is the time to be intelligent. The captain don't need too much of noise. This is the time for intelligent soldiers that are ready to go on the battlefield and to put their money where their mouth is, and to use their resources for our redemption and our liberation. And don't just be talking. Literally putting your shoulder to the wheel. And this is why, family, you've watched us for a long time. You know exactly what we're doing. You don't have to guess anything around here. This mission, again, that's why it's not a trip. Again, the proposal, the previous video will fill your head up clearly on exactly why it is an important mission. And if you definitely are about redemption, I think you would definitely support it. And remember, you have packages that will enhance your program, your business, whatever it is you're defending, once you can find a package that suits you. If not, hey, you can still contribute 1,000, 2,000. 500, 10,000, whatever it is. You can sponsor the whole mission. Remember, this is the thing, family. This is the meditation we are talking about. That's why we highlight economics. That's why we do these economic programs. That's why we talk about investing. That's why we talk about morals. That's why we talk about community and tribe and family, and returning to our African way of looking at things. So we're family. Some of you, I never see you. I don't even know who you are. I don't know you're there. You know I'm here. And you know what we do. That's why you contribute. That's why you say, yeah, man, let's send Precise like a 500, because we know that this is going to be for the benefit of us all. But again, I'm going to be very clear. It would really warm my heart if you take the time to go through the proposal in detail. Those of you who missed the video that we did, it would warm my heart if you go below this video and press that link so you could take in that whole hour lecture that we did in detail, in detail. So you have a better idea of what this grand mission is all about, especially those of you who would love to be a part of it. Now, what I'm going to do in closing here, I'm just going to give you some of the speech that the Prime Minister of Ethiopia would have made as it relates to Mr. Bill Gates when he was giving him this award. Let's listen to this.
Tonight, we celebrate a man driven by brilliance and purpose, a man whose curiosity has taken him across the worlds of science, health, and humanity. His generosity and impact reach far beyond wealth or fame. We have come together to express our heartfelt gratitude to Bill Gates and the foundation that has transformed millions of lives over the past 25 years. Bill Long before philanthropy defined your public life, you had already reshaped the world. As the founder of Microsoft, you laid the foundation for the digital backbone of the modern age. You showed us the progress is not inherited, it is invented. This lesson continues to shape the future we are building today. 25 years ago, you and Melinda made a bold choice. You stepped away from the company to devote your lives to lifting others, shaping a more just and healthy world.
What do you really think about that, family? I did a whole program on this on the Tiger's Nest. Give thanks to those of you who are subscribers to the Tiger's Nest. And remember, to the subscribers of this channel, make sure you put on your notification bell. We have some things coming to you. And in fact, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. It's a very simple thing to do. It's a press of a button and the notification bell, because we have a lot of information and inspiration coming to you very soon that we don't want you to miss. All right, family, we're going to be preparing ourselves to do our nightly program right now, the Tiger's Nest. For those of you who are subscribers of that, just look forward to the program reaching your inbox in your email in a few hours. For those of you who are not, you know what to do. Email me, priestIsaacInstitute@gmail.com, and let me know you'd like to be a part of the Tiger's Nest audio radio program. Family, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And trust me, I mean, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Yeah, family, give thanks. Holy Emmanuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari, blessed.